line stuck to the side of the hole. And, ooh, it's a sauger. Okay. A little sauger. That's my sixth fish so far this morning. I got in here. Come on, get going, buddy. It's my sixth fish. And I got started just around 7:30. So still we're a minute away here. Clean this hole out a little bit. $8.59. And welcome all you early comers. 12 people here already. All right. Well, we'll go. Hey, hi, everybody. Kurt Quinnell, we're back on Lake of the Woods live right now. It is almost 9 o'clock. Hey, Danny. Yeah, another live. Jim is here. Paul is here. I appreciate y'all coming. I thought maybe late in the season these lives wouldn't be so popular anymore, but heck, we're doing all right. My sister, hi, Rita. A lot to talk about today, so hopefully I can stay on the train of thought a little bit. We're out in front of Long Point Resort. I'm a couple of 100 yards off one of their roads, but the roads don't matter anymore. Once you get onto the lake, you can drive pretty much everywhere. And that's one of the first things we probably should talk about is the roads. Now, and if I give you any misinformation here, I'm sorry. But as far as I know, the Long Point is the only place I know where you are still welcome to drive out trucks. Is that right? I know you can here. And I talked with Russ yesterday, and because I knew I'd do this today, so I had to find out. And he said, yeah, guys are calling. They're wondering if they can bring their wheelhouses yet. Well, what we're saying is you can drive the trucks out, all right? But wheelhouses could change from day to day. Maybe today you can. Ooh, geez, there's a lot of fish in here now. But maybe tomorrow you won't be able to. So what they're saying is bring trucks if you want to run your portables, fish out. Geez, there's a lot of fish here. The landing is a little bit rough, but I think I said this before. They take really good care of their landing here. They put sawdust on it 3 weeks ago, lots of sawdust, which insulates everything and helps absorb the moisture so it doesn't get torn up as bad. The landing is rough, but when you get onto the ice, it's fine. I've got a bait up here. That fish that I caught just as I hit the live button, looks like it died in the hole. So I've got my first keeper of the day, right? And that is fairly rare, but if you catch a bunch of fish, some of them don't make it. And as far as fish I'm going to keep out here now, those will be the ones. And it's a 13-inch sauger. It's a Lake of the Woods keeper. I'm going to get him if I can. This is one of the problems. I've got to get this fish out of the hole, and I hope that my body still works that way. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay. So, Long Point in December, I didn't bring a bucket. I didn't bring a bucket this morning, so I've got one laying on the ice out there. Long Point is a week or so behind over at Pine Island, over at Swift Ditch, as far as getting going in December. All right? This is one of the last spots that gets going by a week or so. Okay? And Kevin, hey, Kevin. And Max and Steve. But heck, we're going for a couple of 3 weeks longer. Everybody on the tail end of this. Over at Pine Island, they shut everything down. Like I said, I think everybody did. Call them, find out for yourself. But that's what I think. Here, yeah, trucks are still going out. It's fine. From Alexandria, Minnesota this morning. Good morning to you. So we're reaping the benefits of starting a little bit later now by going further on. Here's one thing. If you want to know what fishing in April is like and late March is like, here at Long Point, there's still going to be a lot of it. All right. And you can go back in the Kurt Quinnell YouTube channel, go to the ice fishing and get in there, and you can look at last end of March. You can look at last April. I was doing that yesterday just to see if we were kind of on par with what normally happens. And we are. I'll be in the Silver House until the end of the month when the permanent houses have to be off. Unless you're staying in overnight. All right. Had to put that in there. Then I'll be in the portable for a while. And that's perfect because as conditions progress and the end of the ice season comes closer, the ice isn't as great as anymore, but it's perfectly good for a Ranger or a side-by-side or a snowmobile and a portable. Heck, you can go good. But conditions are good here. Very good. The ice is fine. When I drilled these holes out yesterday, there was a little tiny bit of that not great ice right at the very top. But after that, it's fine. Adam says, heading up from the city shortly. Be fishing out by you. Save us a spot. Oh, good. On the way out this morning, I noticed, and every day I come out, suddenly there's nobody out here anymore. I counted from as far as I could see off to the west to as far as I could see off to the east, and there was 20 fish houses out here. All right, and there are a few hubs around now this morning. I think people are ice camping out here. Because when I went in there, people pickup truck next to a hub. When I came out here early, they were there. So they probably stayed overnight in the ice. Something I'm a little bit past, but I hope they had fun. Sleeping overnight in a hub. But it's kind of a big deal now. Oh, geez. Yesterday, heading to Dale's tomorrow, John. So the places that aren't, thanks for saying that, by the way, because Dale's is a great example. Just because there's not trucks coming out at all these places, I'm sure that ATVs, side-by-sides, snowmobiles are good probably almost everywhere. The big thing for this time of the year is to call ahead. I've got 81 people in here already this morning. Great news. So I appreciate y'all being here. Got a lot to talk about, and I try to stay on topic, which isn't so easy when I've got fish coming by. And, hey, Uncle Deluxe, and people sending me a message. If you've got a question about anything going on here at Lake of the Woods, type it on here. I'll try to stay with them, okay? So, did you see the video this week of the people driving through the water? Heck, I think all the TV stations in the Midwest got a hold of this video and were playing it like it was Armageddon, which I thought was kind of funny, but it is a striking sight to see cars and trucks, driving through water up to their bumpers on the ice. You figure, they're going to go through. Well, there's 3 feet of ice underneath that little bit of water, and here's where it comes from. If you notice, ice roads are very wide roads. What do they need to be that wide for? Well, for 2 reasons. The wider, the better, because when snow drifts, it won't drift the road in right away. You get a little bit more of a cushion that way. But the other thing is, the wider the road is that as those berms melt, that water all drains into the road, and if there's not room for it to get out of there, it ponds up, and there you get your deep waters, all right? With a wide road, it's got more way to get out of there. So if you notice, if you watch that video again, and go on Facebook, I don't think you'll have any trouble finding it, you'll notice that road there is kind of a pinch. The berms aren't too far apart. So here at Long Point, there's been a little bit of water on a road here and there, but not all the way across for sure, and a little bit towards the edges. So John says, are you still in 30 plus? I'm at 32 feet. I'll tell you that story here in a minute, I hope. Hot color this year, man, I'm finding out it doesn't seem to matter. I can't find anything that changes. Hi, Chris. Good morning to you. Pink, I've always got pink on, but the greens, orange, those are always good colors here. People say gold. Well, fine. I guess I don't use gold too much, but if that's a great color, okay. So that's that's how that goes. I had, like I said, before I started, I caught 5 fish. I caught the 6th one just as I was in here. You're welcome, Carl. Hey, Randy. I saw 4 nice suspended fish this morning in the first hour I was here. 20 feet down, 15 feet down, in 32 feet of water. And I haven't seen 4 in the last 3 weeks, I don't think. But there was 4 this morning. The first one I lifted up for, and it was a nice one. It was too skinny, it was too fat to be a pike, so I'm sure it was a walleye. And he came right by, swam right by my bait, and just kept going, didn't care at all. The next one that came through, I got up in front of him, and he took off. And then the next one was heading for me, and as soon as I lifted up in front of me, they went down like they were going to the bottom, and I followed them down, and then they were gone. So, but 4, just to see them is a great thing to have happen. Hi, everybody. Hey, Randy. Thanks for being here. How's the rest of the season shaping up? I think really probably perfect for this time of the year. All right. Now, first of all, now here's a question: do you use blinking lights in the summertime? Yes, I use them. I use them all the time. Guy came by the house yesterday. I was talking to him, and they had blinking lights on in the morning, but he goes, as soon as they got daylight, well, we took them off because they can't work in the daytime, can they? And well, I think, and I haven't been down there, but I think in 30 feet of water here on Lake of the Woods, even if the sun is out, it's dark. So, yeah, I use blinking lights around all the time. Now, why are my questions disappearing so fast? Gary Way says, good morning. Good morning, Gary. Appreciate you being here. V-Man says, how's the fishing? All right, that'll bring, I hope I didn't drop in front of all my subjects we were talking about. How's the fishing? The fishing is the same. Now, here's yesterday. Doug and I came out yesterday, and if I knew how to, I think there's probably someone who's smart could get a picture from somewhere else onto this live when we're doing it, but I don't know how to do that. But yesterday morning at 9:30, Doug was out here with me, and I caught a nice fish came through, and I stuck him, and Doug managed to grab his phone, and I'm reeling his fish in, and he's videoing with his phone, which is awesome. And it's a nice, fat, 25-inch walleye. This is great. I haven't caught a slot in couple of weeks, and that was great. But in the morning, I think we kept 2 and probably caught 15 more. But we went in because after fishing in the morning, people have been telling me again that at 2 in the afternoon, there's another little bit of a run. So we went in, had lunch, took my nap with the kitty on my lap, and then came back out. We were out here at 2. From 2 to 3, we caught 13 fish. 1 was a keeper, the rest were small, okay? And then from 3 to 4, we caught 7 more. So we caught 20 fish in 2 hours, the 2 of us. Well, that was great. I think we kept 3, but like the one I just kept here this morning, a couple of them were pretty small, but if they don't swim away, you can play with them and get them to go eventually, but the older I hit, the more I hate to see those fish dead like that. It doesn't happen often, but when you're dealing with a bunch of fish, it's going to happen. I can keep those. All right. Good morning. We did good yesterday. Lots of small. This morning we have some nice slot fish. Now, see, those fish that I had coming through suspended, they were slots. They were obviously that big. Rainy River says, how's the Rainy River looking? Now, I don't follow this too close, but I keep my eyes open on Facebook. There, guys, my guide buddy, Jason Grohl, is fishing upriver right now. Okay? So if you want to push your boat across some ice, up, I'd say Birchdale and probably east of there, heck, you could do it now. Okay? Jason says he's in the Black Hub. So I wonder if he's the guy that... I've got 2 hubs. 3 hubs. Not too far off me, so I figured I must know these guys. Maybe they're watching from there. So we jumped to the Rainy River, and I just don't do that anymore. As soon as I didn't have a 16-foot boat anymore, we used to push the boats out across the ice, but in my boat, I'm not going to do that. So I just forego that. Heck, I'm still ice fishing here for a while, okay? And I'm still I'm in 32 feet. I wasn't a hot spot. I was there for 2 weeks, and I'm not leaving. because this is the best spot I know. Everywhere I go, it's about the same, and it's always been good here. Well, last Saturday, this is Thursday, right? Saturday, man, I had a great morning in there. So see, this is perfect. I'm glad I stayed here in the hot spot. Then Sunday, I caught one fish. That hardly ever have. I caught one fish. And Monday, I wasn't on the water, or ice. And then Tuesday, I went back out, and then Tuesday morning, I caught two fish. And it's happening more and more, and I appreciate it. Guys walk over from where they're fishing, and they knock on the door, and we sit and we BS for a while. Well, these guys came over, and they were 200 yards away from me further east. And I said, how's it going over there? He goes, well, not too bad. We're catching a lot of fish, mostly little, but we're getting some nice ones too. I said, well, I'm not even seeing anything here anymore. So they said, well, we're finishing up today. We're going home tomorrow. So when I finished up, I pulled my house over. It's nice during the day, and I'll tell you a great little tip here. You don't have to re-drill the holes every day anymore. This is great. So I pulled the house over in their area, and I drilled my holes out, and I didn't fish. I went home. The next morning, I came out here, which had been Wednesday, and I did okay. It was worth the trip. And yesterday, Doug and I were out here, and we did good in the afternoon, okay? And we caught that big one. It's a nice big fish. Is there still snow on the ice, or is it a skating rink? All right, it's not a skating rink. Can we do this? See, there's a... Well, here we go. Here we go. Mess around till I break something. There is not much snow, but it's not bare ice anymore. The drifts are pretty much all gone. There, that was great growth for me to do that. Uh-oh. Uh-huh. Oh, there. Whew. There we go. Okay, we're set. Yeah, you can drive anywhere. The only problem is you get into the holes caused by houses being in there, or the berms. Good morning, Kurt. We had one last trip we were going to try this weekend for tip-up, so we called it a season. Now, you tip-up guys, I've been seeing a ton of big northerns caught in the big northern areas. This is a great time. If you want to run tip-ups for pike, this is not too late to do it. Now, I don't know how you get on the ice over in the Warroad area anymore. I know at Zipple Bay, their road is shut down for trucks, but it's still open for ATVs and the light stuff. All right, whoop, whoop, whoop. There's another fish. Pulled a 43.5 2 weekends ago. We're talking about pike. I wasn't even looking at the screen on this one yet. That one took off like they're supposed to, thank goodness. Pike, yes. This is, and I guess I don't fish pike. We caught a lot of pike this winter, just regular fishing. But the people that are in the shallow water fishing pike, however you fish pike, they're doing good. And this is a good time to do it. And when the temperature's 40 degrees, it's not bad to be out chasing those flags around and running some tip-ups. So that's another great thing Lake of the Woods has for you. So things are going good. There's going to be a lot of season left this week. Weather forecast. Here's the weather report. It's going to be 30 today and tomorrow, but 40 degrees on Saturday and Sunday. So if you're coming up, heck, to be nice. Not 50, but 40, 41 degrees. And then all next week, the highs are going to be in the 30s only. And the overnight lows will be freezing. They'll be into the low to mid 20s all week. So that's nice for fishing. It's good for conditions holding up. So if you want to come fishing again, man, do it. Because there's plenty of, from Dalbo, Minnesota. Good morning, Paul. There's good opportunities yet to fish. Less opportunities to drive around out here in a truck, which you can still do at Long Point, I think. See, now you're getting me thinking. If I had to drive from Dalbo, all the way up here, or from Browns Valley or Mankato or whatever, I don't know. I guess I don't know how often I could do that anyway, but Yeah, you're absolutely going to fish. People are shook up because, you know, there's lakes opening up now. It's been 80 degrees down central Minnesota and southern Minnesota here lately. And so oh, winter's over. Well, it hasn't been like that here at all. We had close to 50 like one day, but then it was 20 degrees the other morning when I came out. It was 22 this morning when I came out. Hey, Craig, good morning to you. Again, if you have questions, type them into the thing, however you do that, and I'll do my best to answer them. So we talked about the roads, all right? Call ahead to where you're going. I think that most of the road, now see, I don't know how it goes over Pine Island. They said they closed that road off, and I don't know if that means that you can access it with an ATV or a snowmobile, maybe. But I know Zipple Bay is saying that. I think Morris Point is still saying that. And Dales, they were just saying there are just a Dales here. And out of Warroad, there's some place that you can get on. There's nobody maintaining any kind of roads over there, so you're on your own. But at a Warroad, you don't go out very far. You can get right out into that basin between Warroad and Springsteel. That's where you want to fish pike. And on the north side of the Springsteel Island, that's pike ground. You're not far from shore to do that at all. Awesome pike fish. World class. Your chance to catch a 40-inch pike are better here than any place else. Up last weekend, had a blast. Third time this year. Now, here we go. Fishing hasn't been great this year. Well, maybe pike fishing is going to be great. But I would say, here, now I'm getting all the pike information. See, just like I said, you get from Springsteel to Elm Point, from Springsteel to Warroad Run there, and that's where you fish the pike. And more fish coming in too. It hasn't been ice fishing, but it's been good. I have talked to many people who are out here. Like I said, I got people stopping by all the time. And please do, if you see my house out here and I'm in it, come on over, knock on the door. We'll talk for a while. Okay. Sounds like ATV and sleds for all of the South Shore. That's kind of the way it is. Like I said, the exception here is at Long Point for now, because there's still trucks out here, and for the near future, the trucks are still all right. But people that I've talked to who have been fishing have all said, yeah, cripes, we're having a blast. We're catching enough to eat, and we're bringing some home. I'm kind of glad that not everybody who comes up here can come out and kick open 4 holes and fill their pail up with 18 inchers every day. Okay? Hi, Sister Vera. Because fishing's supposed to be kind of a challenge. And sometimes here on Lake of the Woods, it's not much of a challenge. It is easy. These fish are dumb and they're hungry, and they are most of the time willing to bite. The thing that we've had this winter, and you've seen some great pictures, and there's been good fishing, there's been some great fishing, but it's been down from what you'd hope for to be peak fishing, but it's still all right. What I'm saying is, it's good that it's fishing, okay? If you just came up and wallop fish all the time like you can here, well, there wouldn't be any respect for it. Where's my bucket full of fish, and we're going home. 150 people here watching a YouTube live from Lake of the Woods towards the end of March. This is great. And I kind of like doing these lives. It's easier than me trying to shoot video for 3 hours and then spend 3 hours producing it and 6 hours uploading it. Let's see the live scope action. There you go. The mega live action. Now, and I don't know why this is, but these cameras are awesome. But this line right here, that's bright orange in real life, and it's yellow here on the screen. Here's my, you see the bait on the right side, all right, going up and down. And here's the jigging spoon on the left. What I've got today is nothing new. I've got a little tungsten jig on my right line with a live minnow on it. And on the spoon, it's a Lindy Flyer, that same one you've seen before. I don't don't change spoons around very much. And I've got a lot of them that I use. I just happen to put this flyer on, and I've had no reason to take it off. So that's what's on these two lines. You've seen it many times before. So if we get bored here, I'll take it back. So there you go, Tony. There's the Mega Live 2 in action. We were talking about how the fishing's been. So people have been happy, pretty much, with what's going on. They say, oh yeah, we had a great time. The outfitters here on Lake of the Woods, the people running the roads, the resorts, the outfitters, they all do a good job of making the experience good for you. All right. So even if fishing isn't maybe great that day, you'll know that someone is working on getting it there for you. Do you ever try lipless cranks like Rippin' Wraps? I really like the Blackwater custom baits. What I think Blackwater does, they take regular baits, but they paint them, they custom paint them. Blackwater custom jigs as a rattle bait. That's a lipless bait, okay? And I like them. I think, and if I get someone in my fish house that uses them, they always keep up with everything else. When I put a bait down and I jiggle it a couple times, I see a fish coming, and that fish turns and runs away, I figure, well, you don't need that much action. So I'm not much of an action type fisherman, but I watch videos of these guys using the sonars and the metal blade baits, and they're just ripping them with no bait on them, and they're catching fish on Lake of the Woods. So there's a lot of ways to catch a fish on Lake of the Woods. I'm stuck in what I'm doing for now. Hey, there we go. Are you still using the blinking light? Yes, I do. Where do we purchase these? Outdoors Again? The blinking lights? Yeah, they've got a big display of the blinking lights there. Good place to get them. Outdoors Again, awesome bait store. Yes, I recommend it. We use them a lot with no bait. See, there you go. This guy will use them, and when I have them on, I always think, geez, these fish are still biting, because the fish come ripping in and grab. All right, so they were hammering them last weekend on lipless crankbaits. I've got them with me all the time. I just don't put them on often enough. Can you still keep pike? Yes. Pike season is continuous here. It never closes. How about that? So as long as you can get out and fish, and as soon as the ice is gone, then they get out in the boats and go into Zipple Bay, and when there's about a week and a half or 10 days, that'd be a week and a half, wouldn't it? Where you can really get the big pike in the shallow waters in the Zipple Bay, which is great. I think how aggressively you jig depends a lot of the variables, but I always start slow and subtle. You can see my baits here. This is how I start them. I don't move these baits much until I see a fish. All right, as soon as I see a fish coming, I will pick one up or the other just to see if that fish is going to follow. With the Mega Live here, way over here, I am 20 feet away. See, that's at 20 right there. It's 20 feet that way. So the fish comes in from here. You see him right away. Then if he's coming this way, well, I'm going to grab a bait and go like this, or like this. If that fish coming, it's so fun. He's scooting along on a straight line this way, and then when he gets to your bait, he comes right up to it and smacks it. In a perfect world, they do that. And I know for a fact that it's good to use those aggressive baits. And I think, that in a shallow water bite, maybe in a lake, different lake, that's where I would think that would excel. But no, the walleyes love that stuff. I can't do it, but it's something that people should at least be aware of. And I can, but now look at today. We're a half hour in here, and I've caught 2 fish, which isn't too bad. But you might sit for an hour with nothing, and I never could sit and jig on a bait, just ripping it up and down. how exciting is it when you're doing that and you get a fish, though? You know, that's great. This is day in, day out. Now, every day of your life, is this the only way that you can catch a fish ice fishing? No, oh shoot, sorry. There's a lot of ways to do it, but you go with what you get more comfortable with. And I fully believe in trying new things. And like I said, I've got all those, and I use them, just not often enough. If we were in a day when the fish were really biting good, I would switch around maybe to see if how much fun it is to smack them that way. When are you taking your house off for the year? The houses have to be off at the end of the month, unless you're in them overnight. You can pull them out during the day, but they got to come off at night. If you're in a sleeper house, you're going to sleep in this house, I can keep it out overnight after the end of March. But all the resort houses are gone. By the end of the month, they'll pull everything off. And then after that, it's portables. This little house, I could pull it to shore and pull it out every day, but I've got my great little clam portable, and I'll use that starting right away in April. Now, I was still fishing April 9th last year, and because I've got a video from April 9th last year. So it's not, I mean, there's quite a bit of fishing left here. You just keep getting lighter and lighter and smaller and smaller. And fishing gets better, I think. And what hasn't happened yet is, because you need some warmer weather to do this, suddenly the ice sucks all the snow wet down and away. You get puddles of water here and there and slush, but pretty soon all this snow is gone, and then all the water disappears. That's when things get good, because that water draining down through the ice starts warming things up. And when the water temperature starts to change, things really get going. All right, midway through here. Hi, everybody. From Lake of the Woods, I'm Kurt Quinnell, and I appreciate you being here. We are live in my fish house this morning. If you're watching this, you might watch it later when it's not live anymore, but this is 1 hour in my fish house. I've got a fish there now. Good or bad, I mean, this is right about when I caught that big one yesterday. Right about now. And there's a fish right up. See that fish right there? That little hump? I see it as an orange hump. I think you're seeing it as a yellow hump. But that's another little fish coming and swimming by. There is a school of thought that says, you know, you move shallower early. Or shallower late in the ice season, and especially late in the day. Well, here, 2 weeks ago, when everyone was still out here, personal best water. I'll come back to that, but we've got some great shallow opportunities here. And a week and a half ago, I was in some shallow water near rocks, and we had a night bite. That's what we set up to. Now, I don't fish in the evening. I fish mostly mornings, but we actually fished the evenings a couple of times. And we had a bite that lasted 2 nights in a row. From 6 o'clock at night, the fish started biting till about 20 after 6. And it's not always like that, but it was like that twice. And I thought, well, there we go. Okay. It's a lot to go through for 20 minutes of outstanding fishing. Oh, look at this guy's coming. This is a nice fish. Now you can see him coming. He's 20 feet away yet. So things have to go pretty darn good for him to keep coming. I'm going to pick up my jigging spoon line because he's close enough. He can see it. He's disappearing. Don't go all the way down. He's still coming. What I want to do is to see that head turn and come up and bite, because that's a nice fish. Come on, his turn. He's going to come up. Yes. On the other line, though. Ooh, that's a big fish. That's a big fish. Come on. Oh, man. Come on. I don't know what line he's going to bite on. If either. Yeah, I bet I was reeling in that fish yesterday at about this same time. He came all the way over and he's looking at it. Come on, bite it. Got a better chance landing him on this line, so I hope he bites here. I'll get to my personal best here in a little bit, but it was open water. I guess I've caught a couple of 30-inch walleyes through the ice. But as far as a big fish, I'd much rather get a big fish in a boat fishing. Because to get a big fish lined up and in the hole, come on, man. He's right there. Now this little guy's going to come and he'll bite. That's not what I want. Yes! Oh, oh. Well, that was the little guy. Okay. I looked at the screen for a second and felt the tug. Now that's exciting there. Yep. Oh, like a pout. You know, maybe that was a pout. But I haven't caught a eel pout for, well, I don't know, a couple of weeks, actually. And we should have been catching them right along. I don't know why. I haven't caught a crappie yet this year. Bite or no bite, that was a blast. So I agree. One of the guys said that, and that's true. That fish, just because you can't see him, that doesn't mean it's gone now either. He's still somewhere. Ooh, that was fun. Yes, it could have been a pout. Or it could have been a big walleye. Don't ruin it for me, come on. I would think a pout, well, yeah, they circle around, but they're just about always aggressive. Now, see, I'm completely lost. Is what we were talking about before then. 161 people here. I appreciate you. So you must, since this is here's this guy coming up. There we go. Sure, why didn't that big one come and do that, huh? Well, this isn't too bad. Come on, buddy. Oh, yeah. Well, since I kept that one little one, here we go. We got two keepers. A nice walleye here. This is at least 15 inches. Oh, geez, I got a fish on the other line now, too. 15 and a half incher. Well, fish are going to have to just wait there. I'll get there in a second. They're lining up now. I've got to throw these out here. Then I have a bucket. He's still there. Yeah, this one's little. Later in the year, I think the fish get a little more aggressive when the water warms up. This little sauger's got 2 or 3 minnows in his gut, so guess what's been going on there. No baits down. Got you all waiting. Let me get these baited up again. Sure. Now they've convinced me that big one was a pout coming through. You're just saying that to spoil it for me. Okay, that one's going. Hey, Paul. My brother-in-law, Paul. Oh, how about that? He didn't take my minnow head, but the red worm is gone. I'm going to fish without that for a while. I take a little piece of red worm and put it on behind the minnow head on the jigging spoon. When you hook a minnow through the head, it crushes that bone, and the minnow can just slide right off the hook again. We'll switch this back over here. Oh, wrong way. How about it was a state record eel pout? Well, if they're big enough, you know, I keep the eel pouts now. Even my wife lets me because she likes them. Those back straps on a pout are very good table fare, as they say. Okay, we're fishing again. We are from Manitoba and fish Buffalo Bay lots. What a treasure that is, huh? Going to be there for pike in April in Buffalo Bay. I bet they'll be all by themselves there. But that'll be awesome fishing. Okay, personal best. So open water. Like I said, I've had a couple of 30 inchers. in ice fishing, but I like to get them in the open water. I've told this story before, but I like telling it because it's awesome. 2 years ago, in July 6th, I caught a 32.5-inch walleye. It was the biggest walleye I've ever seen in person. And we caught him on a guide trip, and I caught it. But that morning, we caught lots of big fish. I think everybody in the boat that day caught their personal bests. And we released that 32.5-incher. One of the guys caught a 28-incher that morning, and he kept it for a trophy, which is 100% okay with me. And it was a great day of fishing. But other than that, I've caught 3 that were 31.25. 3 of them all the same size over 30 years of fishing here. Was that out of Arneson's? Was what out of Arneson's? I'm sorry. My biggest fish ever. I caught one 31.25 out of Arneson's out on Gull Rock Reef. I caught one 31.25-incher out in front of Morris Point. And I caught one 31.5-incher, well, it must have been here at Long Point, and the 32.5 was here at Long Point. And just about everybody I've talked to since I caught that 32 and brag about it to people, just about everyone has caught a 34-incher. So that's the way that goes. Okay. What time is it? Oh, 7:39. Hey, hi everybody. Good morning. It was 22 degrees this morning. And one of the perks about fishing late in the year, even with that, I came out and my holes were still open in the fish house from yesterday. You can see that guy sneaking by. That's not a terrible fish, but he just was not interested at all. Talk about the rattle baits. I'm going to go back to that a little bit more. The lipless crankbaits, the rattle baits, the chicken wraps. Oh, Gordy from Michigan. We've been in boats for the last 2 weeks there. I know. On my bucket list is that run on the Detroit River. Would be awesome. I think the Fox River over there has got going on. Was it the Maumee River? There's a lot of them. The rivers in Wisconsin go with big walleyes this time of the year. And they would here in Minnesota too, but you can't fish them here now. But I guess down in Red Wing on the Mississippi you can fish. I think it's a continuous season there. But you can't keep any or something like that. But there's a lot of big fish they catch out in Wisconsin. And now that just veered me off my line of concentration again. If you're watching this on Facebook and you haven't been to the Kurt Quinnell YouTube channel yet, and Quinnell's kind of a goofy word to spell, so you can Google NCOR fishing videos, all right? And you'll get to the YouTube channel from there. I've got 150 or 130 ice fishing videos from all different times of the ice fishing season here on Lake of the Woods. There's another, see that right there. That's a nice fish. And I never had a chance at that because it was over further to the side. But you get one of those coming through like this. Wow, those are big fish, whatever they are. That wasn't skinny. So it wasn't a pike. So I'm sure it was a big walleye. Here comes another one. When they get to about there, they should turn their nose and come up. And that one's not for the first bite or the second bite. Okay. Ice fishing with the perfect weather we've got coming is going to stay great. Okay. Condition-wise, how good fishing is going to be, I don't know. It should improve. We're getting to a time where the action can get pretty hot. But sitting out here with Doug yesterday, and people that I've talked to say, yeah, fishing has been great this morning, but geez, it's nice sitting out here. It's nice and cold. You don't have to re-drill your holes every day. There's enough fish around. Keep it interesting. You just got to hope that the nicer ones come. We've got, 15 minutes or so left. If you have any questions, just type them in, all right? Or comments. I'll do my best to answer it. A pout would have bit. That's what I think. And a pike would have bitten me off. So it must have been a walleye, right? So So let's see what else is going on here. If you have a snowmobile, if you have a ATV, if you have a side-by-side and a portable fish house, man, the world is your oyster up here for the next, well, till the middle of April. I can't tell you what's going to happen in 3 weeks. That's what everyone wants to know, but I can't tell you what's going to happen. But the way the next 10 days look, our ice is going to stay very, very good. And the one of the big reasons you can't drive trucks out anymore is not that the ice can't handle it, the approaches can't handle it. Every truck that comes down onto the ice goes over the same tire marks. And come on up, man. I'll get to this another fish here. So figure over at Pine Island. Come on, Pike. Oh, I missed him. Going over Pine Island, they have many hundreds of trucks coming over the same thing. And I lost both my baits, I'm sure. And that just wears out the approaches, tears them up, and they get wet, and that makes it worse. So that's what happens if no one drove trucks, and I'm not complaining about the truck driving guys, but those approaches last for a long time. But you don't need a huge approach for a snowmobile or an ATV, so why not? Good luck with your trucks. It's great. People have fun up here, and that's what it's all about. Ice fishing is the king up here, but it's the king on Red Lake. It's the king on these big northern Minnesota lakes that are awesome fishing in the wintertime and give you good conditions. You can see it's my jigging spoon going back, and I've got fish waiting for me on the bottom. Imagine where you can come up and you fish, and there's hundreds and hundreds of miles. Just lost that bait. Hundreds of miles of roads up here. Every area, it's like there's 4 different worlds here. My bait is still there. There's the Warroad world, and they've got roads all over there that are great for you. There's Arneson's, which there's no roads at Arneson's, but they do an awesome job making trails and taking people fishing. That is an enormous first-class operation, okay? And then you get to Long Point. There's roads, more roads than you can fish in the winter anytime. Don't care how much you hear, that's great. You get down to Zipple Bay. That is a huge, great fishing area. And they've got road signs out. They've got the Igloo Bar. But that's the Zipple Bay world. And then they get over to Pine Island. We've got Morris Point then and all the resorts at Boston Creek. And then you've got Arneson's, Adrian's, and Wigwam, and Borderview with their access points that they fish the very eastern side of the lake. So there's no way you could fish the whole lake in many years if you kept moving around. And fishing's good. Like I said, these Lake of the Woods fish bite most of the time. This way, here comes again. Well, where is this? What did I do? Oh, yeah, I've got one more hook to bait. Hard enough for me to concentrate on one thing, let alone many things, right? Can I show you this? A lot of ways to hook a minnow. Here's my minnow. I hook them way back through the tail back here. Yeah, hold still then, buddy. See, right through the tail. People hook minnows 100 different ways. Every one of them is good. Every one of them is fine. I just hook them through like below the dorsal fin in the middle. Well, I eventually would get their backbone or something and kill them before I'm done. If I'm way back in the tail like that, the fish can, I think, kick around a lot. We're down to 131 people. So, geez, what did I say? Was it me? There we go. So now we're back and fishing. So I told you about the Kurt Quinnell YouTube channel. If you want to see how ice fishing is up here in end of March, April, I've got 4 years worth of videos lined up from just that very same time. Do you ever put 2 minnows on a hook? Yes, I have had buddies that have done that, and I never have, and I have done that this year actually quite a bit. When I was using the Jigabit, that bigger hook jig, then I put 2 minnows on quite a bit. These little tungsten jigs are small. One minnow is pretty much fills up the hook, so it's a little bit harder. But yes, and it's a good idea to put 2 on. I don't always, but it's just another little sweetener that you maybe want to use. Okay, it's a good question. I was fishing with Doug yesterday, and he uses a jigging. He had 2 jigging spoons on, I think, but he put the whole minnow on the jigging spoon and hooked them right through the back, and caught as many fish as anybody else. Is there snow on the ground or still just on the lake? There is snow on the ground. There's not much snow. There's more snow on the ground than there is on the lake. Okay, my yard is still under quite a bit of snow. Some of the fields are getting black, but that kind of happens with fields. As soon as the little ground peaks out, that warms up quick, and that kind of gets everything else going. But there's still snow. Not much snow on the lake anymore. I've got like 10 more minutes to catch a nice one. There we go. And sure, the camera facing the wrong way for that. This little guy just came right up off the bottom and bit. Whoa, he's not too small. This is worth showing you. Guy's got sores on him. See that sore right there? I got some on this side too. And right there on his head. Mmm, delicious. Take off, buddy. Well, I didn't have that bait down there very long. I'm going to swing this around again. So often when you're using these good depth finders, when you release a fish, you watch them. You can watch them swim away. They take off and they shoot right back down to the bottom. That's fun. Like I said, the older I get, the less I want to hurt anything or kill anything. So one day I'll wake up and I won't be able to kill a minnow anymore. Then I guess I'll quit fishing. But it's good to watch those fish swim away, and you see it a lot. Here's my jigging. That's the little jig going to the bottom. There's another fish down there. He's coming up. Come on, buddy. It's a little frustrating when they're right there and you want them to come up, and they don't. Did I mention this earlier? It is windy. It is really, really windy this morning. No worries. He just had to go to work. Oh, yeah. What pound test line do you use? All right, there's a helpful question. In the summertime and in the winter, I've been using 6-pound test fire line. Now, if you're fishing outside, all right, where it's cold, I don't think you want to use fire line. It freezes kind of funny. You're going to get some special ice line for that, but I don't fish outside or fish where it's cold. So I use 6-pound test fire line. Now, in the summertime, especially in a year where you're catching a lot of big fish, I kind of worried about it, and I buy fire line in the big spools, the 1,000,000 feet spools. So it takes me a while to use that up, but I finally used it up last year, and I bought some 8-pound. I have 8-pound test fire line that I'm going to use in the summertime, because we deal with bigger fish in the summertime, and more pike, more sturgeon, the big stuff. So 8-pound test line is plenty big. And with the super lines, they are very thin diameter. So it's like using 4-pound test mono, using 8-pound test fire line. So I use fire line. It doesn't nick up. It doesn't break too much. And I like that. I run that to a swivel or down to my blinking light lure. And with a swivel, blinking light, and then a short mono leader down to my jig, 4 or 6 inches down to the jig. And what happens, and I use 14-pound test line on that leader, and it's just mono, okay? And when the lines break, that's usually what breaks. Even with 6-pound test fire line. And I could have stayed with 6, but I said, well, I don't lose much by adding the extra strength, so I'm going to try that for a while. I've changed my fishing a lot in the 46 years that I've been up here fishing Lake of the Woods. and I am not opposed to changing it more. See that? See that guy? That's a bigger fish. Come on, man. Come over here and bite. Look at this guy. Oh, man. Come on. Don't just go away. He's going away. Fine. Seeing him, ain't catching him. Here comes another nice one here. Coming up, buddy. I am trying to think of things that maybe we were going to talk about and haven't yet. We've got a little while left here. 5 or 6 minutes. But the weather's going to be good. Fishing's going to be staying. Quality of conditions for fishing is going to be good. I am 32 feet of water right here. I was in 30 last. I moved 200 yards away from where I was before, and I got 2 feet deeper. So we're on the incline going down to the deeper water here on Lake of the Woods. We fish that most of the year. 32 feet today. But conditions are going to be good for fishing, the light stuff, from now on. To recap, you can still drive trucks on here at Long Point. But how that could end, so if you plan on coming, well, this is Thursday, so the weekend is coming. Do you ever bounce your jig off the bottom? I used to, quite a bit. Then I started using, when I got my Helix, my Humminbird Helix depth finder. Now, if you see this fish, you see my jig is above him. I got a foot or 2 feet off the bottom all the time. And I always said, you bounce that jig on the bottom, that poofs up the bottom, and fish come in, but I've seen way too many fish come along close to the bottom, come to your bait, come up and grab it, that you don't have to do that. And I really don't move the baits around a lot until I see a fish. So I don't think that I can reach the bottom by just dropping this down. I did, so there's one. And when I do it, I drop 5 times and then hang up, get 5 poofs off the bottom. It's making that fish that's there. That's 4, right? And 5. After 5 times, you should have a fish come up and bite right away. And if they don't, well, then I don't want to do it anymore. Okay? Fishing should get better. There should be more perch around. We had a lot of perch earlier. Then, heck, the last month really has been noticeable. The burbot haven't been around. The pike even kind of disappeared. But we've got some good pike this winter. The perch have gone. Did I say perch already? And I haven't caught a crappie yet this year, which I'm pretty upset about. But the year's not over. All right? Is it windy? Yes, it's windy. I was just talking about that. It is windy. And I was glad I wasn't in a hub today like my buddies around here that are ice camping. But they got it set up. Before, the last 2 days have not been wind. There's been almost no wind, which was very nice. But it's windy today. I'm glad I'm inside here. But I've been running the first hour or so I was in here, I was running the buddy heater on medium to keep it warm. But since we started, I've been on low. And I'll go to pilot probably as soon as I get done here. Few minutes left. Now, if you didn't get all of this, okay, or you didn't get any of it, it doesn't do me any good to say it here now. But this will be on, it'll be on Facebook, and it will be on the Kurt Quinnell YouTube channel after this. So if you're fishing this weekend, sit down and play this in the background for a while. We're back up to 153 people. Maybe they just had to go to the bathroom. Maybe they get to their work computer and turn it on. That might be it too. I want to talk about keep it clean a little bit. We get to the end here when you come out fishing. You are welcome, Daryl. I appreciate it. When you bring your stuff out on the ice, make sure when you leave, you pick it all up and bring it all with you. Garbage, poop bags, all that stuff, bring it out. And even your wood blocks. If you've had a house for a while, you know when you get the house up, the wood blocks are frozen in there. Chisel those out. Don't leave those behind. It's a law now. It's always been a good idea, and it's always kind of been a law. But now they're saying, don't put anything in the ice. Don't leave anything on the ice that you brought out. And it takes so little time. Ooh, come on, man. It takes so little time to clean it up. If it takes 2 minutes, you're not concentrating on what you're doing. Okay, pick that stuff up, take it off the ice with you. Whether you're in a wheelhouse for a week, or a hub for a couple of days, or a portable for a few hours, you can take everything with you when you go. Please do that. It will all be great Minnesota sports people, and not just Minnesota, but great ice fisher people. How's that? No matter where you're fishing, keep it clean. If pictures get online of where a house was and it's full of a bunch of stuff and bags and garbage, that's not good. But I'll tell you one thing, the road operators are really getting behind this, so I appreciate that. Okay, and they are policing their areas now too, which I've always thought they should, and they are, so that's good. Let's keep the ice nice, because we all love it out here. Okay, south of you by Grayston, there's no shortage of tulipies and small saugers today. When I was out deeper, I was out in 34, 35, 36 feet deep. It was mostly tulipies. I caught more tulipies this winter than I have all together in my life so far. We caught a ton of them, okay? But I came into 30 feet and they were gone, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I stayed in 30 feet. Out deeper, as soon as there's a fish, see that one up there? See how big he's going to get. Come over and bite for these people. Shoot right over and bite. Why? Why? Most of fishing, ice fishing especially, is begging, you know. So that would have been a great way to end this, huh? I started it off with a fish, and I could have ended it with a nice big fish. I'll do another one of these next week. It's going to be a perfect week next week. Not hot, not too cold. It'll be a great week for fishing. I'll share that with you here next week on our YouTube Live. So, from Lake of the Woods, I appreciate y'all being here again. Follow me along on the Kurt Quinnell YouTube channel, the NCOR Guide Service Facebook page. Appreciate you being along. So have a great day, everybody. I'm going to just concentrate more on fishing now for a while. If I get a big fish, I'll take a picture of it, put it online, all right? Thank you. Bye-bye.